What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Crypto Tips. My name is Toby.
My name is Heidi.
And today we are going over our AMA questions sent to us by our CT Club members. If you want to check us out, you get our trade alerts, our portfolio updates, you get everything that we are doing in the market. Link is down below. All right, let's get into the question.
Okay, today's question. How confident are you in a smooth Ethereum move to proof of stake, also known as Ethereum 2.0? What are the issues they could face?
I mean, that's a very tricky question because I don't think it's going to be as smooth as people think it is.
No.
We've
never witnessed a blockchain moving from proof of work to proof of stake, let alone the number 2 blockchain, according to market cap, let alone the number 1 blockchain, with activities like DeFi, smart contracts, dApps, games, how much use Ethereum gets. There's a lot of activity on that. It's a big blockchain.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that it's not usually that smooth when they do other updates as well.
Well, there's reasons for this as well. And one of them is the complexity of Ethereum. Ethereum is very complex. It's actually so complex that some of the greatest minds in the world working full time for years still are having a very hard time simplifying things. And there's actually, you want to go over what happened with one of the Ethereum devs that had to speak out because he was kind of freaking out?
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago on our live stream. We talked about this too. He basically went on Twitter and he aired it all out. He is the lead developer of Ethereum. I think he's speaking on behalf of a lot of other developers who are also working for Ethereum, basically saying, all of these layers of EIP, these Ethereum improvement protocols, they keep getting added on. And basically it's like the idea people have all these great ideas and then the developers have to just figure out how it can all keep working. And now when you're adding on another layer of scalability, of changing the consensus mechanism on top of the already heavily complex code, it's not so much, because code is repairable, right? It's not so much like the code can't handle it. It's the people who are maintaining it. It's the people who are making sure that they're catching the bugs, that they're trying to make it as secure of a network as possible in terms of the smart contracts.
But if you constantly make something more and more difficult and you're not simplifying the prior layers, you're going to make things that could be impossible in the future to fix. So, there is a point of no return essentially. And so this is what one of the developers were saying is that, you guys they're adding so many different layers and they're not simplifying anything really. And so, and that can be really terrifying for at least the lead developer. And there is definitely, I can tell there's a friction between the people that like Joseph Lubin, who is the person out there like, hey, this is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the lead developer who is actually doing the most difficult work. Yeah. And, the poor developers like, hey, wait a second, just chill out a second. Who cares if we don't come up with all of these other layers? Let's just focus on these and simplify them first before we go even further. And so, this could be very dangerous. For me, what I think is that the lead developer was frustrated, and that's why he might have been having a really rough day and just had a vent. And I think that's what happened. I think that Ethereum is going to be fine, and I'm placing my money where my mouth is, and our CT Club members definitely know that. But I'm saying there's going to be a bumpy road. And obviously this is all unproven. This is still new stuff. We're in the Wild West right here. So nothing is for certain on this, but it's definitely worth the risk. And if it pays off, it's going to pay off so well. I mean, anybody who is puts, a good portion of their wealth in that is going to be fabulously wealthy, and they deserve that 100% from the risks that we're taking. So, yeah.
I mean, another thing to pay attention to is I was reading an article today, talking about the risks of, or, the movement from Ethereum to Ethereum 2.0, from proof of work to proof of stake. And it really got under my skin because they were referencing the trifecta of cryptocurrencies. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a true trifecta that every blockchain wants to have completely and not have to sacrifice one for the other. It includes scalability, security, and decentralization. Usually, a lot of blockchains sacrifice decentralization in favor of scalability, or they sacrifice security for scalability. And so that's a trifecta. But this article that I was reading, I'm not even going to link it because I don't even want to promote whoever wrote that. They're saying the trifecta was scalability, security, and energy efficiency. And so that the narrative is trying to wiggle its way into this cryptocurrency space. And I'm not trying to get too political or whatever here, but I think that there's some pressure, what you were referencing to, how Joe Lubin and how he's pushing for ETH 2.0 to be released in the next few months, compared to what the developers are actually having to accomplish to have a successful launch. I think the pressure that Joe Lubin is kind of making this public display, it's because there's a lot of big investors in Ethereum. A lot of them have to play by the rules of whoever is pushing this ESG narrative. And I think they're trying to portray this energy efficiency as a real big concern for whoever is, interacting with cryptocurrencies. Sure, people care about it, but it's not a cornerstone of cryptocurrencies, nor do I think it should be. That's a controversial outlook, sure. But when you're comparing cryptocurrencies, what they're doing, how they can free people, what they're about, and I think that's a justified use of energy and not to mention the fact that it's a free market and they're incentivized to use clean energy and reusable energy. And compared to the fiat system. I mean, I already did a rant on that if you guys watched it last week. And again, in this article, he was saying you can't be an environmental activist and support Ethereum. Are you kidding me? That was just so triggering for me to read that.
Says the person who's using their fiat backed by militaries that are bombing the crap out of the whole world. Using 4.6 billion gallons of fuel each year, like the U.S. military does, to back the U.S. dollar. Give me a break. And I'm not even talking about the capital structure of banks, the banking system.
Employees and all that.
Oh my gosh. And all the bureaucrats out there that are just sucking parasites that suck dry the taxpayer. Don't even get me started on fiat, how disgustingly filthy that thing is. It is
the
filthy.
System that locks people in for life.
Yeah.
So that's why
don't even want to hear
we're
these people.
We're a fan of crypto.
Yeah.
I think it's a justified use of energy. It's using the vast majority of cryptocurrencies are using clean, reusable energy, which these guys trying to push this narrative don't cover. They're always referencing the amount of energy used. Like they said, Ethereum uses the same energy as the country of Sudan. People say, Whatever. Okay, but where is that energy coming from? They don't say. So anyway, this move from proof of stake is proof of stake is now the politically correct way to run a blockchain because it's more energy efficient. But anyway, we're not that confident that it's going to be a smooth change over. Obviously, there's going to be unforeseen things that they're going to have to address. And also, I'm not a developer on Ethereum. I can't predict the issues that they could face. The developers definitely have a much better eye on that. And what the lead developer was tweeting about several weeks ago, that's a good hint that they have concerns as well. But we'll be watching closely and we'll be letting you guys know what we think is happening. Sure. And anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys, and hit the like button and hit subscribe to get more videos like this. We publish every single day.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you.